Guys, my name is Rash, and today I have somebody very exciting with us. So this is our next episode of Passion to Profit, and today we have Malaysia's very own Mr. Bean with us. Malaysia's very own Mr. Bean. So we're gonna interview Mr. Bean and actually ask him how he came about doing what he loves to do, and how he turned his passion into a profit. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no worries.
And thank you for introducing me as Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Would you like to know my real name?
Yes, your real name, please.
My real name is Faiket.
Yeah.
Faiket. I'm originally from Albania, a small country in Europe. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Okay,
Yes.
shall I go with Faiket? Okay, Faiket. could you share with us how do you become Mr. Bean? How do you become the Mr. Bean impersonator?
How did I become Mr. Bean? Interesting. First of all, I got to thank God for the looks. For those of you who are not sure whether I really look like him, there you go. Okay. So yeah, that's one thing. I don't do any plastic surgery or anything, so it just happened to look like him. And I was working in a full-time job.
Yeah.
I was part of a group of companies. We used to do market research, training and consultancy, and I was one of the managers there. But I always wanted to be on my own, okay? And the real calling to be an entertainer came when I was following my spiritual father on a trip, actually in Bali. You know, and that's when we realized the potential of me being a Mr. Bean impersonator.
Oh wow!
You know, and actually there was a drawing of a Mr. Bean caricature somewhere on a.
Okay.
It was a tourist attraction somewhere there, you know, and then but the artist was not there. The Mr. Bean drawing was there, but not the artist.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, I just went to that drawing and I just did that Mr. Bean looks. You know, suddenly all our friends came and took a photo, and all the tourists who were there came and took a photo, and everyone said, "Hey, you look the same like him."
Oh wow!
So my spiritual father, basically, what he did is he said that this is something good for you,
Okay.
and do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it started 4 years ago.
Oh wow!
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So can you share with us how did this become an actual business for you?
All right. I started doing this first on a part-time basis. Okay, but because I always wanted to be on my own, you know, run my own business, and be free from the what we call the red race, the 9 to 5 kind of working experience. So, and this came in just nice. So when I started doing this part-time, you see, most of the shows in the entertainment industry will be maybe weekends or Friday evenings.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could still keep my full-time job. Under employment and still do my shows. But after a few months, the response was really good. Right? One of the reasons was because, in this region, probably I'm one of the only few who really look like Mr. Bean. Okay. You know, there will be a few out there in the world, but it was interesting because one American company called me recently, and they said, "Hey, we want to do something, and we have done our research all over the world. And apparently you are the most look-alike Mr. Bean impersonator in the world."
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't do that research even myself. So basically, after a few months getting all these good responses, again, thank God for my spiritual father who told me, actually, he said it's time. By faith, you just go out and do it full time. Okay. And of course, the fear came in because here you are an employee. At the end of the month, you know what to expect. You know what do you get in terms of salary and commission and whatnot. And now you are suddenly out in the market. And the challenge is I am the product. Okay. You know. So I'm the face. I'm the brochure. I am the good and the bad is all you know. I'm the product itself. So, but I got to say that one of our main supporters is definitely my wife. Oh wow! And talking about partnership, one of the most important to those who are married or to those who are going to get married, I think this is very crucial because one of the most important partnerships in life is the person you're going to marry to. Oh wow! Okay. Imagine if my wife was not agreeable to the idea of me being an entertainer. Yeah, exactly. You know, moving from a corporate guy into an entertainment. You know, which is actually very fun. You know, I'm very thankful that she enjoys it. You know, actually. Many things that I do during the shows are her ideas. Okay. You know, and of course she comes from a lawyer background, you know, so people sometimes cannot understand how can a wife who used to be a corporate lawyer,
Yeah.
and then she works with one of the major banks, you know, who is willing to encourage me and support me in this business.
Oh, wow.
You know, but she has been my greatest supporter all these years.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, I find it really incredible for your partner to agree to this, because I can imagine it's such a huge, like, you know, from having a job to being like a, you know, a entertainer. You know, it's something which is huge.
That's right.
Yeah. At the very beginning, what were the biggest challenges you faced?
Well, the biggest challenges we faced, we sat down, we said, how do we start?
Yeah.
Right? But in a way, I was quite fortunate, because in the group of companies I was working, a guy came along who was involved in the events industry.
Okay.
So being from the events industry, he was looking for new talents to promote. You know, with big MCs, singers, dancers, entertainers, comedians. So when he came on board, I asked him, hey, why don't you just take my profile as Mr. Bean impersonator, and just test and see how the markets will respond.
Yeah.
And that's how we started.
Okay.
And the good news is that people responded very well.
Okay.
People responded very well.
Oh, wow.
And that's how we started having shows after shows.
Okay.
You know, and I never looked back after that. I
Wow.
never looked back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good to hear. Okay, so now to end, I have just one last question. So, do you have anything inspirational to say to my viewers who are wanting to pursue their dreams but they're kind of afraid to?
All right. There is something I remember back in the year 1997.
Yes.
When I was exposed to seminars, conferences on self-development and positive thinking. And I remember one of the speakers used to say, and now a lot of people use the same statement, the biggest challenge for us is fear.
Yeah.
And that's what stops us from achieving what we want to achieve.
That's right.
Right? But again, what is the acronym of the word fear?
Yeah.
F-E-A-R.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it's the same thing for me. The fear of, will people accept this character of Mr. Bean impersonator?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, they might like Mr. Bean, but I don't know, will they like me?
Yeah.
Right? Because there is a fear in me. Will I be accepted in the market? Right?
Okay.
So, but how do I overcome those fear, those false evidence which appeared real to me?
Yes.
Right? It's basically by taking a step of faith.
Okay.
And just doing it.
Okay.
Because what was the worst that could happen to me?
Yeah.
Right?
What is the worst?
What is the worst to happen? And I always ask things, and we have the same principle in life, me and my wife. What is the worst that could happen if I do something?
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's the best question to ask.
Wow.
Every time you want to venture into something, what's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
Right? So even if, let's say, I've been doing it for 4 years, even if something happened,
Yeah.
right? I can always go back to work
Okay.
if I have to, right? Or at least now I have the freedom
Yeah.
to venture into more and more businesses.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so actually by us stepping in faith and stepping out
Yeah.
and doing this business entertainment,
Yeah.
right? Now I have the freedom to do more businesses,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yes.
So that's the best part about life,
Wow.
you know. And of course, doing something that we enjoy,
Yeah.
and then we always want to do something that people, how to say, we are living in a very stressful world.
Yeah.
There is uncertainty out there. People don't know the economy is going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
There is. I talked to friends. They said, "Oh, my office, there is a stressful environment," and I'm glad that now I have this opportunity, which I've been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
That when I go into an atmosphere as Mr. Bean,
Yeah.
somehow the atmosphere changes.
Ah, very nice.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yes,
like
yes.
people have been stressful, they've been having their problems,
Yeah.
and suddenly, if I do a show, let's say of half an hour,
Yeah.
right? At least for those half an hours, then they see this Mr. Bean impersonator,
Yeah.
and hopefully they have forgot all their problems. You know,
Fantastic. Yes.
and hopefully they feel better. There is a joy in them.
Okay.
There is a surprise effect in them.
Yeah.
So there is all these positive feelings.
Okay.
You know, not forgetting
Yeah.
the selfies
Yeah.
that they take. You know, and posting things on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitters and all this.
Okay.
So that's basically amazing.
Okay.
That's basically
Fantastic.
amazing.
I just learned one very important lesson. You know, what is the worst that could happen to you?
Yes.
What is the worst that can happen to you? Just go take a leap of faith.
Yep.
And the question was, what's the worst that can happen to you? right?
Yes.
So I hope we found that inspirational. Thank you guys for viewing this episode. Next episode, for more inspirational people like Faiket, aka Mr. Bean of Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
see you soon.
See
Bye
you.
bye.